Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video where today we will be taking a look at Mr. Pokey's review for who I should be pulling or what people should be pulling for in version 2.2 of Honkai Star Rail. Now, as many of you know, I'm actually pretty on the fence when it comes to what I want to do. So, without further ado, I want to see if this will convince me in some way of like maybe pulling for Robin or Boot Hill. I'm not sure yet. But if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Alright, we're gonna just pause right here. We gotta take a look at what the hell that entire zoom in. Alright, Mr. Pokey, come on, man. We are not doing this today, huh?
And welcome back to Pokey's Classroom. It has been a while since we've had this series, right? This time we're going to go through CN's version 2.2 polling opinions featuring Robin, Boot Hill, Topaz, and Xuan. And without
Alright, before he like gets into like his opinions and everything, I'll tell you right now, I'm currently leaning towards either skipping or pulling for Xuan's light cone. Because I do have Xuan, she's my best sustainer, and apparently the light cone just makes her busted. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what he says. But yeah, clearly too small. I kind of like that. Also, I put this video onto a second display, so that's why I'm not looking directly at the camera this time. So let's go.
Without further ado, let's get into today's content.
This is a good intro. Beautiful intro as usual. Oh my god.
2.2, you can see over here, this Trailblazer outfit, the intricate details in the head is absolutely insane. Editors, can you just zoom in on the hat, right?
Yes, the hat, chat. Yes, the hat. Totally not this.
The ribbons, just overall extremely well done look for the Trailblazer we have here.
We are looking respectfully.
Now we're gonna go into the content as usual.
Alright, here we go.
For all of our polling opinions, we are deciding between who to pull, and pre-release analysis is gonna go over the unit speculative kit with greater details, right? Specifically, if we do get into the creator experience program, you guys
oh, bro really wants that creative experience server.
Perspective based on the live stream event, and players at the end of the day should still do their own due diligence, right? So
I agree with the whole due diligence thing. But you're smarter and you're better than me, so I trust your word. I'll be honest. I trust this man's word more than I do.
Content is gonna be meant for free-to-play and low spenders under the assumption that we only get one unit and one unit only. No items that we're not gonna be pulling for signature.
Not pulling for signature light cones. Well, there goes the convincing of me wanting to get the light cone. But you know, maybe if you convince me on one of the other units, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So, first things first, the number of pools we are going to be getting in version 2.2. After all the calculations, the events, 1,600 Stellar Jades and 10 Fuels, everything that we've gotten from this day all the way up to the last day, the combined pools that we're going to be getting for the free-to-play,
126.
The complete free-to-play is going to be 126 pools.
Alright.
Monthly pass total is going to be 156 pools, and then for the monthly pass plus battle pass card holders, that's going to be 164 pools. From the 8th of May to the 19th of June, there's going to be 42 days, right? As usual, these are all estimations and they're not 100%
okay.
confirmed. Do want to keep in mind that for Robin specifically, you're probably going to end up having less pools compared to Boot Hill, since Boot Hill is going to be the
because Boot Hill second wave. Yeah, so this is
for the estimated pool.
Alright. So not a whole lot of stuff was announced, I'll be honest, because they did spend a whole lot of time on like one major event, and it's that one major event that they spent like a good 10-20 minutes on, right? So to like drag out the length of the talk, obviously. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this right now, because like this was going to be the one I was going to save for Firefly, but does not look it. Also, alright, we're going to move on.
income. And now going to our first unit, Robin. So she is basically our team-wide debuffer, similar to
Buffer.
Perhaps if even higher damage output and flexibility, right? The skill basically the same. We have a team-wide damage percentage buff, ultimate instant team-wide action value advance, like you instantly gain a turn. It is pretty much like a dance for 100%.
That was my oh, I think I just peeked the mic. But that is exactly what I thought of when I saw her ultimate. Not only the song, obviously the song is amazing, but the fact that she can push forward every character, it's just a better Dance 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 or a DDD. It is just so much better. So for MOC players who are struggling to get that first cycle, if you have a follow-up attack team, I'd see this as a win. I don't have a follow-up attack team, so let's see if they provide if Robin will provide any other buffs besides just follow-up attack teams.
Action value absolutely insane, as well as dealing additional damage for each of our allies attack. Now, how much additional damage is this ultimate gonna do is gonna be the crucial part of Robin's kit, right? We have to see for greater testings with ourselves how much additional damage does state provide to our entire team. So and then the talent is basically whenever any ally attack, we also regenerate additional energy, although we could also gain some additional buffs based on the traces and all that kind of stuff, right? So Robin's introduction as the team-wide buffer, it brings great news for players who have missed out on Run.
I have Run Mei, so
both Robin and Run Mei, they have a similar role, which is to amplify multiple DPS damage at the same time. But Robin's additional damage, you can say it is more flexible than Run Mei's break effect and break efficiency, because it is not depending on your team being on element, right? Even if your team is on element, and this is a very glaring issue.
Alright, let's think about this, right? So you're telling me, because it's just a general attack / damage buff, right? Is this going to be good for dot teams? Like for the Kafka Black Swan or the Aggron Black Swan Kafka Ron Mei thing that I've been running, can I put Robin in there instead of Ron Mei and then save Ron Mei for, you know, my second team on MOC? Because if that's the case, that's big. That is really big. And I don't know, man. That sounds amazing. That sounds really cool.
We see with the current Ratio and Topaz team comp is that you're either off element on Topaz or you're off element on Ratio. But with Robin, it does not matter, because even while being off element, Topaz and Ratio will still trigger Robin's additional damage. So that's going to be one benefit that Robin's going to be able to provide specifically for the Frog team comp, right? So for the
so far at least, I know, sorry I'm pausing a whole lot. That's what this video is going to be. So he's mentioning only follow-ups, right? It's not just me, so I don't know, man. This might be a skip. But her song is so good, bro. I don't know yet. Come on, convince me of something.
Supplementary 4-star is going to be March 7th, Hanya and Xuan, and I just keep it about all these 3 4-stars is not that great compared to like Ting Yun, compared to Paddock and hard stuff. Right? Hanya does have decent utility even at lower islands for higher skill point DPS, such as Imbued Lane. Xuan's E6 greatly improves the overall kit, and March 7th's E6, it brings about a small amount of heal for some additional sustain. But let's just be real, who the hell is using March 7th as a sustain?
True.
So that's going to be there. And now
no one uses March 7th.
The verdict, it is going to be basically something like this.
Yep.
This is not, I didn't make this. The CN community actually made this. If you guys are League of Legends players,
yeah, I recognize it as a League of Legends. I know that.
Equipping a Blade of the Ruined King on every single one of your teammates, right? So because now each of their attacks, they deal additional damage, because
that's crazy.
Robin is basically this, but for your entire team, right? So the verdict is very simple, chat. It is a limited.
Wow.
10 out of 10, right? At the end of the day, her value as a harmony support, it will always be worth it, because if you take a look at the CN's usage rate for currently, right, we have Run Mei and Sparkle, it is still the highest amongst any support in CN. Where included, right? So you can see that any 5-star support, specifically harmony supports, they bring about very, very good value regardless of what kind of team comp you're going to be running. So you will never find a place where Robin does not give value to your team, right? And overall, even if you are not...
Hold on. I want to read this thing here. CN believes Robin's team line 100% advance A. Okay. It's 100%? How do we know that? How do we know that? I thought it was just like a small forward, like Sparkles. But okay. If that's the case, that's big. Will it cement her spot as a timeless support referencing Ting Yun's incredible placement due to her signature with TODDD? Okay. But HSR's high reliance on support being the foundation of any DPS, Robin will not bring new players disappointment. Good for the new players. What about me, bro? I skipped Sparkle for Acheron. I skipped Hua and Argenti so I could get Ranmei. Which I have Ranmei. How is this like I still don't see the value that she can bring for dot teams, because that's what I'm focusing on right now. Because then I could bring my Ranmei to my break effect team instead of keeping her on the dot team because she inflicts a debuff with her ultimate. So I think if for mock players this might be a good idea.
Gonna be using Robin for, let's just say, for team comp. She is still a definitive upgrade over your 4-star supports such as Hanya, Asa, Yukong for your hyper carries. Although follow-up attack team comps, they will gain the largest benefit from Robin.
Oh, so not Ting Yun?
The team-wide 100% action value advance, it will cement her spot as a timeless support. They compared Robin's 100% action value advance with Ting Yun's perfect synergy running Dun Dun Duns. The reason why Ting Yun has been so bloody popular is because of the utility that she can use Dun Dun Duns on turn 0 instantly, just like that.
Yep.
That is with only 24% action value advance. So imagine that.
Exactly, that's big thing, because you can just charge your ultimate off rip, and then you have DDD. You save that shit for when you're like in a pinch, right? Like you've gone through every single character. Use that shit. Put energy onto someone. You're back in it. Just keep going, and then I think you're good. But if this will be better than Ting Yun, that's gonna be big for me, because Ting Yun for me is like really useless because she's super skill point negative for Dan Heng. So because I use Dan Heng Il or Jing Liu depending on the weakness. So Robin might actually be a pull for me. I don't know. We'll see.
A support that has 100% action value advance, right? So there is the comparison that I'm trying to see over here. And you know, with Honkai Star having a high reliance on support being the foundation of any team comp, any DPS, Robin, it will not bring disappointment to new players, right? So that is gonna be right. Now let's move on to Mr. Boot Hill.
Alright, so far Robin is very convincing. Let's hear what he has to say about Xuan though, because that's gonna be big for me.
Single target break crit.
I mean, he could also convince me of Boot Hill. I don't even know.
An upgraded version of the only other crit slash break hybrid we have, which is Xuan, right? His skill taunts the enemy, increase damage to both parties with an addition to the end.
It's a taunt? That's a debuff, right? Chad, I could replace Kafka with Boot Hill if that's even a good idea. You know, add some versatility in terms of like weaknesses, right? Hold up, wait a minute.
Han's basic attack. Ultimate marks enemy with physical weakness. Keep in mind.
The ultimate? I thought it was just the technique that does that. I didn't know the ultimate did it as well. That's sick, actually.
This physical weakness, it is probably not gonna be relying on effect hit rate like Silver Wolf, right? You basically boom, physical weakness, and there it is, right? It is very, very straightforward. And then we do also have an action value delay, and then the talent is that for every single duel that Boot Hill wins, or every single weakness break, he gains a buff, although we do not know exactly what kind of buff it is. So
I think it's just a damage buff.
It is gonna be very dependent on how fast he breaks the toughness buff, as well as his balance between how much break effect you want to give him and how much crit damage scaling you're gonna get out of Boot Hill. With the physical weakness implant, physical break, and additional talent, we can only find out Boot Hill's actual value after testing him out in Memory of Chaos, in Pure Fiction, and in the brand new game mode.
Right, Apocalyptic Shadow.
Until that day comes, we can't really say for a fact how well Boot Hill is going to perform.
Oh, no, Boot Hill might be good for that.
See Pella, Luca, and Hook. Let's just keep it about nobody. Who the hell is Hook, right? And then Luca E6 does have the highest value out of all three for Luca specifically. And if you guys have not seen Luca's performance in the current Memory of Chaos, it has been pretty good, especially when
really?
you pair him up with Silverwolf, when you pair him with Kafka. Luca is honestly really not that bad, right? And Pera's
Really?
E4 brings about the additional
All the who's
ice rest
is
down,
crazy.
as well as the fact that now her skill can also mark a debuff, which could be pretty good for your Akrod.
I didn't know Luca was broken, chat. I thought Pela was gonna be the star of this banner. Alright.
And it could be really good for your
Not
dodge
bad.
ratio and all kind of stuff, right? So that's gonna be that. And the verdict for Boot Hill is going to be a 10 of 10 for content favoring single target.
Yep.
Otherwise, it is probably gonna be a 5 out of 10, maybe even lower, right? Because his extreme emphasis on single target toughness bar breaking, and we have not seen any ways where Boot Hill can deal with mobs. He has duo, but unlike Scylla's Resurgence, he can't gain additional turns after you divert his attention onto another target, right? So if there's a lot of little mobs, and even if you were to use Boot Hill's skill with duo, he does increase damage, you are missing out that window of opportunity that could have otherwise been given to the boss target himself. So I wouldn't say Boot Hill is designed to deal with an area, a stage where there's a lot of mobs for Boot Hill to clear. For example, if you're gonna go up against Swarm Disaster, if you're gonna go up against a boss like Yanqing, if you're gonna go up against a boss like Argenti, who summons a lot of things, and you have to get rid of those summons, there may be a bit of an issue for Boot Hill, right? So a prime example that Boot Hill, for content that he's gonna shine, is probably gonna be the future boss killer for Apocalyptic Shadow, which is a brand new game mode that MiHoYo announced. We are not exactly sure what this is yet, but they have indicated that it is going to be something like a boss killer event, right? So
something they did similar, right, was they announced Pure Fiction but had Argenti's banner before. So we thought Argenti's banner was going to be really useless, and then a mode specializing in Erudition and Pela possibly released, and then all of a sudden Argenti's value skyrocketed, Himiko's value skyrocketed, Herda's value to the moon. That's how big it can be. Just by adding one mode, you can change the value of a single unit. So that's why Boot Hill, if you pick him up, you are taking that gamble. I'm not a Venturine, so I don't have that luck. Especially with the fact that I lost two 50-50s in a row. If you haven't seen that, you can check out the long form video or check out the short for that. Both of which I'll link in the description.
CN feels that his performance, it will drastically vary between the content and team comps, and the value will only shine when the new Apocalyptic Shadow endgame is released. This is similar to Argenti's value shown
upon Pure Fiction.
Pure Fiction was released, right? Because
correct.
Before Pure Fiction was released, Argenti was, it was alright, right? In Memory of Chaos, against a physical weak stage, you cast his Enhanced Ultimate, he does quite a lot of damage for a single target, right? But it was only with Pure Fiction the players realized that, holy shit, he was so good in Pure Fiction. Even as of right now, Argenti remains the
oh my god, I didn't even see that. 94%. I don't think I'm blocking it, but you guys can see 94% Akron, slightly behind Ranmei, this, and then he cut it off over here. It's cut off over here. There's nothing I can do about that.
Every single Pure Fiction, topping off even Akron, right? Here is the undisputed king of Pure Fiction in CN anyways, right? We could see
he's
a
the Knight
similar
of Beauty
situation happening for Apocalyptic Shadow, where the usage rate for Boot Hill in that mode might just be the highest in the entire game. Because I want you guys to consider this, right? We don't really have a good single target, like pure single target DPS, other than Boot Hill and Doctor Ratio, right? Boot Hill himself, he has a free physical weakness implant. So it doesn't even matter what the enemy element is, you can just use Boot Hill and just run with it. Regardless of what kind of enemy the boss is gonna get, right? Whatever kind of like element in the future, Apocalypse, because this is gonna be the new endgame content, you are probably gonna be able to run Boot Hill against the boss, since it's gonna be single target, he's gonna implant the weakness, and physical break is absolutely ridiculous, right? So that is basically all up to speculation.
Yo, I just realized Yan Cheng's not even on here. I'm looking at this. Yan King, Sela Common L, Nah All Sweat. Sela works better though when there's mob chat. Yeah, he's right, or she's right. I don't know. We don't assume things here.
So we have to wait and see. For now, if we want to compare Boot Hill's value in our current Memory of Chaos, in our current Pure Fiction, okay, let's just give it about
who is Yan King?
It's probably gonna be doo-doo, right? It's probably not gonna be so good. But in current Memory of Chaos, he's still,
bro, everyone dogs on Yanqing, bro. It's crazy.
As long as the boss do not summon a lot of mobs that force you to kill them. For Venturi,
I think that's very easy to understand though.
And he only summons the dices that needs you to hit right? You gotta hit it multiple times, right? Another example is probably going to be like...
Now, what about a high speed boot hill, right? You stack attack and speed and have him go twice. Would there be value in doing that? Because how he gains his medals by winning a duel, right? So if he can get 2 medals off rip in one cycle, and then let's say second cycle, he just locks the hell in on the the main thing. Let's say the automaton gatekeeper, right? He locks on, fires at it, deals insane damage. He might be goated for that though. He might be goated for that.
Let's just say, for example, memory zone meme. If you get hit with boot heel, it's Jover for you, right? Because if he grabs the thing, then it's kind of a one-bomb. But if he don't grab you, you could just like snipe memory zone meme as soon as humanly possible, because the meme, when it enters the next phase, you get the free energy back.
Free ultimate,
right?
yep.
So these kind of bosses where you can kind of ignore the mobs and just go all in and kill him as fast as humanly possible.
All or nothing. Sorry, I had to do it. So yeah, against Aventurine, this guy's pretty much useless. Pretty self-explanatory though.
That's where boot heel's value is probably gonna shine, right? And not to mention, most if not all of our elites, right? The current elites, they are relatively quick to dispatch, right? They are roughly hovering around 300, 400k HP. So boot heel shouldn't have that big of a problem just one-shotting them, which is also the same reason why Doctor Ratio has been performing exceptionally well, because even though Doctor Ratio is purely single target, he can still just kill the elites like almost instantly. Just because the health right now for the elites, they are not that high yet, right? So
they're gonna be insanely high though during Apocalyptic Shadow, so watch it.
Which is going to be Topaz. Now Topaz,
you cannot convince me to pull Topaz because it's on the same banner as Robin. I'm 100%. Should I just skip this entire thing? Literally no convincing that you can make. Here, let me skip over to here. 1 out of 10 if you're playing the Robin / FUA mean, else 1 out of 10. That's how it's bad. We're gonna skip over to Xuan. Because no amount of convincing will actually make me want to do this. However, we'll listen to him, we'll listen to it what he has to say here. So just know I've already made my decision.
But that being said, with the release of Robin and
at the same time,
follow-up attack team comp might become a tier 0 team comp when you slot in Topaz, right? Why this is because Robin's additional
the emote
damage
in chat
is
going crazy
from high frequency attacks, and Topaz, Ratio, Aventurine, specifically Topaz and Numby themselves, they have the highest frequency.
It's Numby and Topaz, get that right.
No one else has a frequency as high as this specific team comp. So with the addition of Robin, we could see very, very good usage, right? The buffs and debuffs from Topaz, the proof of that, her E1, her S1, all this kind of stuff, they are very, very synergistic with any of our other follow-up attackers. Your Aventurine, your Ratio, they're all gonna benefit.
I could have had Aventurine, but I lost. But then, that polling session happened, and well, here we are.
Numby's high frequency attack, which is why you can see for content that the enemies that are weak to fire, you can probably still run Topaz with this team just because fire is where Topaz really, really shines, since she breaks counterspell damage extremely high. However, Topaz value is basically this, right? If you are not gonna be pulling for Robin, and if you don't want to play follow-up attack mains, there really isn't that much of a need to pull for Topaz, right? And
you said at the beginning, you're estimating this based off the fact that you're only pulling 1 unit. Alright. Okay, well, I'm gonna do what he didn't do and just say that there's no reason to pull for Topaz. If you have her, pull Robin. If you don't have her, pull Robin. If you want to pull Topaz instead of Robin, that's all on you. All I'm saying is there's no point in pulling on Topaz unless she was second wave. If she was second wave rerun, maybe there would have been a chance. I don't know why they didn't do that though. I'm just saying.
Excellent reasoning behind this. So, first of all, the main reason why this Ratio and Topaz comp has been not performing very, very well is due to the elemental mismatch. And there was only one exception, which is I think it was 2 or 3 cycles ago, where we had the Memory Zone, the Death, right? He's weak to both imaginary
What is
and fire.
E0W?
And the new Echoes of War boss, the guy that literally mutes on screen.
The Great Septimus, chat. That's the name. But also, I didn't know it was weak to fire and imaginary. You know what? That's the whole reason they made it weak to that is so that they can sell Robin, and then people who have Robin will do so well in the story because of it. Chat, I know what I'm saying.
They are weak to both
It's a ploy to get people to spend more.
Ratio and Topaz is gonna be really, really good. But if we do not have boss that are weak to both fire and imaginary, it is quite difficult for Topaz to outperform a secondary support.
I'm never doing that ever again. Sorry, chat.
Sustain, right?
Please don't clip that.
It will often be in the player's best interest to just straight up change Topaz out for another support, such as Sparkle, such as Pella, such as Tinguin, to deal even more damage because you just want your team to be on element. It doesn't make sense to run Topaz if this team is off element, right? Although the inclusion of Robin does make this viability a lot higher, since now Robin's additional attack will deal more damage regardless if the enemy is on element or off element, right? But for this, we do have to see how much additional damage Robin is going to bring. So I would say that the value of Topaz, it is not so much tied to Topaz, but it is more tied to Robin. And if players want to pull Topaz, you should consider pulling Robin first before pulling for Topaz, right? Even if you are following attack mate, right? So that's gonna be that. And CM believes that Topaz is and most likely will be a niche pull for the general player base. Alright, unless you guys have every single piece of the follow-up team puzzle, which is basically Aventurine, Robin, and Ratio. And all of it.
So he says Robin over Topaz for an follow-up attack comp. Basically, don't pull Topaz. Number 4, don't pull her. If you have her right now, great. If you want Topaz because of that Topaz or for that Numby side effect where Numby will just find chests in the overworld or will just attract trotters and Simi-U, by all means, go right ahead. If you want Topaz for any other reason, if you want Numby for any other reason, by all means, go for it. But if you're pulling for meta, not your best bet. Not your best bet, chat.
If you have this with enough Jades for Robin, then Topaz could be a viable pickup for this account. So you specifically run Robin, Topaz, Ratio, and Aventurine. If you do not have Robin, it would be advised to pull for Robin before considering for Topaz. So that is gonna be...
So like if you roll for Robin early, you just pick up Topaz? Alright. I see that at least. But then again, as a free-to-play player, I know I'm no longer free-to-play. I mean, I got money from friends, but that's about it. But, like, let's think here, right? If you pull Robin early, right, and you saw one of those 2.3 characters, so like Firefly or Jade, wouldn't you be more inclined to pull for one of those two instead of just pulling again? Or the other side to this, I could see people pulling Robin and then Topaz, and then just skipping Boot Hill, Xuan, the entirety of 2.3 to save up for like a 2.4 character. I don't know why though, because Firefly is just straight peak. Like it has the highest amount of impressions on Twitch, not on Twitch, on Twitter. People obviously want Firefly, so yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna be doing Robin into Topaz.
The final verdict.
Oh, here we go. It's the Fu Xuan. Oh, shit, my bad.
Unit for today is going to be Fu Xuan, the strongest, the most comfortable sustain in Honkai Starbucks, right? Fu Xuan's sustain capabilities. Comfortable sustain in Honkai Starbucks, right? Fu Xuan's sustain capabilities. They are absolutely second to none, right? In fact, even with the release of 2 new sustains, right? Xuan and the Aventurine, Fu Xuan's comfort.
It's just still better. Not better, but she can still be really good.
Second to none, right? She has
See, this is the big thing. 12% crit rate? Are you joking, bro? Instead of providing mid damage, you could get a crit rate buff. Let's say your Acheron is like 85 240, right? That 12% puts you to 98 240. You are hitting those crits pretty much every time. That is huge. that is huge for your Acheron. Like any unit whatsoever, a 12% crit rate is huge because getting, I can tell you from relic farming, getting crit rate is so hard. Because I was trying to farm for effect hit rate today, and I got my first effect hit rate piece in like over, like maybe 100, 200 relics. And then when I went and realized I still got more crit rate. I did get crit rate ones, but not as frequently as effect hit rate. So I can tell you from a good place, getting crit rate is very difficult. So the fact that you're getting free crit rate from her skill, it's very good because it, like, look, it's equivalent to about 6 free crit rate substats. That is huge, especially for Acheron, for any DPS, for Jingli Yu. Even I know she gets already that huge crit rate buff. Still good. Still really good.
Team-wide damage mitigation, team-wide damage reduction, absolutely best mechanics for free-to-play or player.
She's literally a preservation harmony unit, I swear.
Which makes it very, very easy, especially with a talent restoring herself back to full health after every single stack, which you get from ultimate, right? So you pretty much won't really face that much of an issue when you want to sustain with full Xuan. Alright, we also get a free 12% crit rate or 24 crit value, equivalent to 6 free crit rate subsets. 6 free crit
That's
subsets in
6.
this economy. That's absolutely insane. Extremely
so
useful
good
for every single
so good.
event. And also she's very low investment at E0 S0 with an average speed HP defense build. You can very easy sustain your entire team.
So for a long time I ran a defense build because when I saw a website in terms of like what I had to build, it said go for defense or HP. So I was like, I have a lot of defense stuff, let's build that. It was not a good idea. I swapped over to HP. It has been amazing now that I'm on an HP build, because let's be honest, farming for speed, too much work, bro. I'll get speed boots, but that's about it.
While still offering good AoE quantum toughness bar damage on top of the free crit rate. Although that being said, there is a potential flaw, which is big AoE hits. You might get one shot if your full Xuan is not tanky enough. So there is the one situation where you...
So against the Great Septimus, probably, when he does that, oh, and then it does the, I think it's chorus, right? When the Great Septimus, like the new Echo of War boss does chorus, I think we're all genuinely screwed over. So yeah, I'll see if I can have that on screen. Like, hello. If it was here already, then it's already here.
Probably wouldn't want to run full Xuan and you want to run another sustain, so take that into consideration. And the pulling volume of full Xuan is also very simple, right? If you're a new player or you have 0 to 1 limited sustain, you get full Xuan. If you have 2 limited or even more than 2 limited sustains, you don't get full Xuan, right? It's super straightforward, right?
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
Day, full Xuan,
So limited sustains is not anyone on the standard banner, and what I have right now is a Fu Xuan Japard, which is why I was inclined to get Aventurine, because Aventurine would be huge for my other mock team, and so that's great. Because so far, like the Acheron, Ron, Maeve, Kafka, Black Swan team, although I just have to be careful with them not dying, I'm making it to Mach 10, but now I'm realizing, like if I want to get to like Mach 11 or Mach 12, you really do need a sustainer, and so that's why I rolled on Aventurine. You know, it is what it is, what happened. But yeah, so I already have Fu Xuan. Let's see if he talks a little bit about that Lycon.
Herself, she has withstood the test of time as being a very comfortable sustain at any point of the game, especially for Memory of Chaos, even for Pure Fission, and most likely for the new Apocalyptic Shadow. She's gonna be able to do the job, right? The few occurrences that she might fail is only limited to Golden Gears, and that mode itself is kind of niche anyways, right?
I mean, in Golden Gears, it's still not bad, right? I mean, let's be honest, I'm only on difficulty 5 Conundrum 2, right? So I can't tell you exactly that this is the best unit. Oh my god, top tier unit. But I think I just need to build my my Fu Xuan a bit more, and I think we're good. Also, I just noticed you forgot the U. Like, I'm not trying to be nitpicky. It's just like something to pull out. You put Fuxon. Chat, I didn't mean that, alright? My bad, chat. I hate this.
CM believes that putting sustain is very, very one.
Hold up. In before 3-team content. Oh, if 3-team content happens, I think we're all screwed. Because now we have to all build another team, and I don't think anyone wants to do that, especially new players.
That mode itself is kind of niche anyways, right? CM believes that putting sustain is very, very one-dimensional. If you can sustain your current setup in the endgame content, then there is no incentive whatsoever to pull for any sustain, including fusion. There is no incentive for you to pull a sustain if you can sustain. It is as simple as that. And the only time this will ever change is if we reach a point in the game where our current team is just simply not dealing enough damage with our current sustain with fusion, and you need like Xuan's energy regeneration, you need Xuan's attack buff, you need Venturing's additional damage, right? If you need these points, you need this utility, that's when fusion wouldn't be a valuable pickup anymore. But even that being said, even if you have to face a situation where content they need you to deal more damage, you could simply just pull for an additional DPS or support idler. Because most of the time they will increase your overall damage.
Yeah, hold up.
Damage. You could simply just pull for an additional DPS or support idler.
Wow. I mean, you heard it from him, not me, chat. Personally, I don't believe in pulling in for Eidolons. I think it's nice. I think I like to have as many characters as possible. So, as many characters as I'm actually going to use. I mean, we don't talk about Don Hung Il, or Jingle Yu. It's all right.
Because most of the time they will increase your overall damage higher than replacing your current support, your current sustain with a new sustain. If you are running a team with a DPS, let's show him Runmei, right? DPS, Runmei, support and sustain, and your sustain right now is fusion. It is better for you to just get Runmei's E1 rather than changing out fusion for Xuan or Venturing. Because Runmei's E1 does provide a higher damage ceiling compared to just changing out your sustain. Right, so that is the fundamental reasoning behind.
Alright, let's see what he says in terms of pull order. I think I know what the order. Before we move on to when he reveals the pull order, here's the pull order. Number 1 is Robin. Number 2 is going to be Fu Xuan. 3 is Boot Hill. And 4 is Topaz. I'm calling it right now. And I'll give my final verdict on who I'm going to be pulling at the end of the video, so you should stick around for that.
Team content, so if we're going to be in a situation where MiHoYo were to release, like, we need to build 3 different teams, then that's gonna be that, right? Alright, so yeah, with that, the final summary, highest value.
Yep. So yeah, Robin, then sorry, Fu Xuan, Boot Hill, Topaz. Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. We'll watch the video fully through, but I think I already know what I'm going to say. We'll just watch it all the way through, though. He put a lot of time into it.
If you guys need sustain, pull Fush. Oh my god. Yo, editor, just
yep.
Change out.
Yeah, he finally noticed. He finally noticed.
Just change if you need a sustain, you can just pull for Fushan, right?
We noticed. He noticed, chat. Hold on, I wanna look at something. Okay, no, okay, he put Fu Xuan there. When does it change? And then it just changes. Oh man. I think it was over here.
If you need a sustain, you can just pull for Fushan to Fushan, right?
Fushan.
Just change the Fushan. If you need a sustain, you can just pull for Fushan, right? And then for the new comp, it's gonna be Boot Hill / Topaz if you want to try out.
Why even get Topaz, bro? Just get Robin. It's better if you want to start that team comp.
Weaknesses for the 2 new units. For Robin, from a DOT and hyper carry perspective, she inherently offers less value compared to high frequency of attack comps such as follow-up attacks, right? Specific.
Okay, so that's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I was looking for. So that makes sense. Ooh, that. Actually, now I don't know what I want to do anymore. Hold on, I'm gonna have to take some time to think.
Ratio Topaz Adventuring. So what I mean by this is that if you're in a situation where you could only pick out, like, let's just say Sparkle or Robin, and you want to play hyper carry, you would want to pick up Sparkle over Robin. or if you are going to be playing like DOT team comps, right, you would rather pick up Run Mei than Robin, right? In this kind of situations, from a
hold on. I didn't hear that last part.
You would want to pick up Sparkle, or if you're in a situation where you could only pick out, like, let's just say Sparkle or Robin, and you want to play hyper carry, you would want to pick up Sparkle over Robin. Or if you are going to be playing like DOT team comps, right, you would rather pick up Run Mei than Robin, right? In this kind of situations, from a opportunity cost perspective, that's when you need to weigh your options a little.
Then again, my second team, I think, is a break effect team. Not break effect, hyper carry. So no, Robin still won't be a good thing, because Robin benefits from just having multiple attacks to charge her ult and then just keep bouncing back her ult if you have a good ER rope. So yeah, hold on. No, we're getting also a double DPS banner in 2020 in 2.3. True.
But if you can get a Harmony support in Honkai Stario, you probably should get them, because what we have seen so far is every single Harmony support that they've released, they have been the absolute highest usage rate out of every single unit, because supports, they are the name of the game in Honkai Stario, right? So that's something for you to consider. And for Boot Hill, performance aside, right, no matter how much damage Boot Hill is going to do for now, DPS, they are always the first unit to get power crept in.
I mean, look at Acheron, man. Acheron's damage was crazy.
Right?
Here we are now.
Like the strongest DPS up until Acheron was released.
Yup.
She has not been immune to this. So do keep that into your consideration and manage your expectations. Specifically, you need to remember that in version 2.3, we are literally getting a double DPS banner back-to-back featuring Firefly.
Watch Firefly power creep Jing Liu in both ways. It's probably going to be slightly worse than Acheron, because Acheron... Hold on. I was... Originally, that was going to be a short thought, but now I have like a bigger thought. Normally, this would just be... See, the thing is, for the... I'm blanking out, chat. Sorry. Normally, see, the way I think Firefly is going to work is very similar to how Jingli is going to work, to where Firefly will attack sometimes, and then she'll open up on and just turn into Sam. Then you hear the Sam VA and the Sam stuff, and then Sam will deal like the huge attacks. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. And if Firefly is just a copy paste of Jingli Yu, I'm actually going to be really pissed.
Just like that, right? You do need to consider a little bit more long term if you're going to be putting for DPS. I do want to say that the inclusion of the new mode, which is Apocalyptic Shadow, it is very likely going to improve Boot Hill's lifespan. Because I don't think there's going to be any other unit close to what Boot Hill has to offer, because you literally get a free physical weakness implant. And Boot Hill is going to excel in single target content. So with Apocalyptic Shadow, Boot Hill's performance might be pretty good, right? So version 2.2 is going to be looking to be a build-up of introducing more team comp fluidity with the introduction of Robin and Boot Hill. And considering that Firefly and Jade release, they are in version 2.3, we could see some very, very interesting team comps that may rival our traditional 3+1.
It's 3+1.
With that, we have come to the end of today's content.
Brother, this is not how you end the video. Actually, you can end the video as however you want. Why though? Bro, we are not. I am okay. Fine. I'm looking respectively. He is not. I can tell you by that Tengyun body pillow, he is not looking respectfully, chat.
Then if you guys are engaged in further discussions, drop it down in the comments below or join the Discord at discord.gg/pokeissues, where we have a very active community talking about Honkai Star on a daily basis, right? If you want to check out my stream, that's twitch.
Yo, slow down. No one's gonna leave. Like, calm down. He's speaking like this really fast, and then I can't keep up with what he's saying, and then I'm speaking slower than him right now, and it's crazy.
T4 says Mr. Pokey, I will stream every single day, should be under the Discord, right? So that's all I have for today. Do your own due diligence. All the best for adventuring, all the best for Arlecchino, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye. Stop. Let's hope he doesn't curse my next 50-50 anyway. Okay, so with that in mind though, I now have a good idea of what I want to do. So my verdict is going to be a complete skip. I will be completely skipping the entirety of 2.2. Let's see what happens. I might you know, do like 110, 120 pull on Robin. But I'm not going to do like the whole 50, 60 pulls. There's no point, right? Like, I might take that free 10 pull, and I just might put it into Robin, you know, to build pity and whatnot. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. If I get Robin within the first 10 pull, it's gonna make it. That's gonna suck for when Firefly comes out, because I'll be stressed out. But you know what? I mean, the fact that Robin still provides a general attack buff, I can still use Robin, right? Like, let's be honest. I do have Dr. Ratio. I just haven't built him. I lost Aventurine, so realistically, yeah. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video, because it is long enough as it is. I thank you so much for sitting through this. I had a lot to talk about, so thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good one. Peace. Bye. Leave. Go have a good one. Please. Go. Bye.